While you stand there, you mind just giving us a mic check?
Sure. Check, check, check. How's that? That work? Good? Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Maybe just like say your name and title.
Sure.
Spell it for us before
Sure.
you start it.
All right. So Albert Martinez, ALBERT, MARTINEZ, Executive Assistant Chief. So around 2:05, 2:06 this morning, as the Deep Ellum clubs were shutting down, there was a group gathering around here at Deep Ellum at Crowdus and Elm. What we know by video surveillance was that some individuals were congregating over near a barbecue pit that was back here at this intersection. The persons observed each other. There was some kind of interaction. We believe it's about 4 individuals. And then immediately upon that interaction or recognition, we don't know exactly what it was, shots are fired. At that time, the summary to that is that we had 5 people shot in this interaction. We have 2 that are deceased. We do not believe there are any other suspects at large. We don't know if there will be more victims at this point. Sometimes they tend to show up at other hospitals, but we believe this incident is isolated here. There's plenty of video surveillance here, thanks to the Deep Ellum Foundation. We have also a City of Dallas Police Department camera system here as well. So we've captured the offense, and that will be reviewed by our homicide unit. We are also asking for any witnesses that were here that saw something to please contact our homicide unit for information. But right now we're trying to get down to the details of why this happened.
When you say there was some kind of interaction, you mean like a dispute, an argument of some kind?
That's what we're trying to determine. We don't know if they recognized each other or something, but it was very instantaneous.
The shooting happened quick.
Very quick, yes, upon some type of recognition, or we don't know if something was said, but immediately right after that, the shots were being fired.
Is there anyone in custody?
Right now, we have everybody. We believe we have the people involved in custody.
How many people?
Right now, we believe we have 2 persons, but we don't know if there's more. All this is preliminary, right?
Could you tell us what this area looked like at the time? I mean, here it's desolate. We're at 5 in the morning. What was happening at 2 o'clock in the morning here?
Sure. So I'm going to let Chief Israel Herrera, answer that, because he's over Deep Ellum here at Central Patrol Division. So I'll let him answer that because he knows the area better, what it looks like on a Thursday night, Friday morning. Go ahead, Chief.
Yes, sir. So at about 2 a.m., clubs are typically letting out. So there are folks that are going back to their cars. Some are, leaving work, going home. So that's essentially what we have going on at that time.
We also know, we heard there was a long line of people waiting to get tattoos for Friday the 13th. I mean, were you seeing like
Yeah, that's not related to this, but yes, absolutely. As you can see, there are folks that are still there right now.
So this type of thing happening at that kind of time, it's a bad time. Any time is, but with all these people out on the street, there's a lot of people who have nothing to do with this, right? Who are
Absolutely. Innocent bystanders that are just, after enjoying a night and are evening out, heading back to their cars. And then, like Chief mentioned, a couple of guys get tangled up for whatever reason, recognition or something that we haven't figured out yet, but we are working on that right now.
Can you talk a little bit about safety here in Deep Ellum? I know there's, Chief had said before zero tolerance.
Yes.
Ramping up safety with 24/7 patrols. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, we have we work very closely with the Deep Ellum Foundation. There's security folks. We did have officers who were actually in the area and responded within seconds to the shooting. So, it just goes to show, we can put an officer on every counter, and on every corner, we're still going to have people perform and, participating in bad behavior. So, we do those extra patrols primarily on our busy nights on Friday and Saturday. We were just very fortunate that we did have officers and staff in the area working in the area during the time of the shooting.
Witnesses say there was
What's that?
automatic fire.
What's that?
What do you know about the witness?
We're still going through all of that, so I can't verify any of that right now, sir.
Do we know
Okay.
how many shooters there are?
Not right now. Again, we believe that we have the basic information, but as Chief Herrera mentioned, we did have on-duty officers here. In fact, they were also, a citizen was rendering first aid. Those officers rendered first aid. They also contained the scene. We also had off-duty officers here that are hired by the club. So we had officers here within seconds, if not less than a minute from the time the shooting happened.
it's worth repeating just to make sure we hear you say it. Do I understand correctly with respect to people who are perhaps armed and dangerous out on the streets? That could you speak to what the concern level is for that right now?
Well, I mean, we've had concerns obviously throughout the city, right? But Deep Ellum has been the Deep Ellum Foundation has been very helpful. They've set up cameras throughout this area. We've increased our police presence. Also, we have constant meetings with the business owners, business managers here at Deep Ellum. So we're doing everything we can to maintain it safe. It's just you have instances like this where people have no regard for other people's safety and they start shooting weapons and they don't care who's in the way.
And let me be more clear. It doesn't sound like you're on an active search for the people who pulled the trigger tonight.
That is correct. We believe what we have here is contained here. Correct.
How long will this be closed off for, just so people know?
Until homicide and crime scene complete the scene, so we're probably looking at least at an hour, maybe longer. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Okay. ¿Español? ¿Está bien? Okay.
¿Me puede decir por favor lo que sucedió el día de hoy?
Sí. So, esta mañana como las 5 pasados de las 2 o 6 minutos pasados de las 2, aquí en la área de Deep Ellum hubo una balacera, un tiriteo de balazos. Hubo un tiriteo de balazos aquí en Deep Ellum. Lo que sabemos eran unas personas que no sé si se conocieron o qué es lo que pasó, pero en el momento que como que se miraron o hablaron, no sé, salieron el tireteo. En eso tenemos 5 personas heridos, y 2 personas de esos 5 han muertos. Y ahorita tenemos todo, creemos que todo aquí en el crime scene lo tenemos aquí. No creemos que hay más personas que salieron de sospechosos ni nada así.
Es decir, hay 5 personas detenidas y 2 personas caídas.
Total es 5, bueno, vamos a decir 2 personas que cayeron o murieron y 3 que están heridos. En total 5.
Y no hay más sospechosos, solamente lo que quedó acá en la zona.
Sí, de lo que sabemos nosotros, ahorita creemos que tenemos todo aquí en esta área, solamente. Ya. Ajá.
Thank you.
Que lo tengo en español.